Yo, what up? Welcome to I'm Not a Gentleman, the show designed to help you look stylish without following trends. I'm your host, Vladimir Riché from ChaseandRider.com, your favorite menswear YouTuber's favorite menswear YouTuber. I've helped dozens of clients and hundreds of students and viewers feel more confident by looking their best and always making a great first impression. Welcome to episode 34 of I'm Not a Gentleman, the Charles Barkley episode. And as you guys know, every Friday and every even number episode is a wardrobe audit. Today's guest is my man Jahlon. He's one of the members of the Menswear Mastermind, and I'm extremely excited to have him on the podcast. And if you guys are just starting your menswear journey, you're really going to appreciate this episode. Yo, Jahlon, what's good?
Yo, what's up, Vlad? What's up, big bro? OG, your favorite menswear YouTuber. How you doing, bro?
You already know, fam. It's such a pleasure to have you on here, man.
It's a pleasure to be on.
Yeah, man. So, for those of you who don't know, my guy Jahlon is from Denver, Colorado. So definitely shout out to Denver. Cold as hell out there.
Mile high, yeah. Mile high, freezing.
Yes, sir. What's the temperature looking like?
It's actually been pretty nice this past week. It's been like 30s, 40s.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah.
A couple weeks ago, we was in the negative, so it was tight. I remember. We was down bad.
I remember because I thought we were cold here when you told me you were in the negatives over there because we were like in the teens, you know what I mean? Like
it was unreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in the house, so I was locked in. I was not going outside for nothing. For nothing and no one.
Because over there, you guys are so used to this kind of weather. Everything just regular, like regardless how cold it is, like nothing really shuts down or anything like that. I'm imagining.
Nah, yeah, the cities got their infrastructure in place. They prepare for when the snow comes, but it never really lasts because the sun always comes out the next day. That's what a lot of people don't know. We get a lot of sunlight. I think we get more than I want to say over 300 days of sun. Like even though it may be cold, the sun still comes out.
Got you. That makes sense though, because of how Denver is and the altitude and all that.
The elevation. Yep.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, you got to get out here, man. If you've never been here, it's a beautiful state.
I've never been here, bro, and I've always heard how beautiful Denver is. So it's definitely on the list for sure.
Sure.
If you guys don't know, well, I mentioned in the intro, Jahlon is part of the Menswear Mastermind, and eventually we were going to do some meetups, no virtual meetups, like some real meetups. So the first one might be in Atlanta because we have a couple members down there. But Denver would definitely be a destination I would like to explore for one of those for sure.
Yeah, we would love to have you. We'd love to have the group. And I'm definitely a proud member. Menswear Mastermind joined almost after it started, a few weeks after it kicked off. But I think we up to like week 10 or 11 now. Steadily growing.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely going fast too. Because every week when I have to post a replay and I'm looking at the number, I'm like, oh man, it's already week 10 or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's definitely,
it's flying by.
Week 11 now. So
and I couldn't be happier, man. I'm glad it's a solid investment. I'm glad I made the investment, and not only Vlad, but also Style Jumper and Style Architect, two other brothers. That are offering a plethora of knowledge, information with respect to menswear and all of its facets, from classic to casual to prep, street, and everywhere in between. So I'm enjoying it. I appreciate it.
Thrifting and all that.
Yeah.
That's what makes it so
Thrift
great
King.
Is the different perspectives, right?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's a whole, you get, it's not like a uniform, unilateral kind of deal. It's a broad, expansive perspective. So anybody from anywhere can really gather some knowledge and some information and inspiration from it for sure.
Yeah, because I'm in there learning myself. You know what I'm saying? Not only am I learning from Mike and Hassan, Style Architect, and Style Jumper, but I'm also learning from you guys. So it's a really good combination.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
And it's good. And we have some fun in there too. Chino, he's like the class clown, so to speak. He keeps us entertained, and he got some solid input too. So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. He's also the resident fragrance guy for us, so always putting us on to stuff like that. So
indeed,
that's what's up. Now, it's a great community, man. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check out patreon.com/Menswear Mastermind. Yeah. And we would love to have you. Definitely.
For sure. Y'all won't regret it. You won't regret it. Yes, you definitely need to be in that group for sure.
Appreciate it. And just so you guys know, I did not pay Jahlon to say that. So
Nah, not at all.
Yes,
I'm paying him. I'm paying him for me to say that, because that's how much. That's how quality the information is. It's good. It's solid.
We appreciate you.
And yeah,
we appreciate
I can't beat it. Second to none, for real.
Definitely, fam. Now, I don't know if you've caught any of the prior wardrobe audits. Actually, I'm sure you have. One of the questions that I like to ask is, if we were to talk again, let's say 3 to 6 months from now, and you have the perfect wardrobe, can you describe that for me?
I would say my perfect wardrobe is a balance of classic, casual, street, prep, all kind of mixed in, tied into one. Kind of how James Jules, how his style is. Like he's in his classic bag sometimes. Sometimes he gets into the casual bag. He may mesh the classic and the casual bag and get in streetwear and mesh that, infuse that with it. So kind of that eclectic style of
Black Ivy.
Yeah, exactly. A Black Ivy kind of vibe.
Yep. Yeah, no, Jason is definitely one of my inspirations, man. This dude is sharp as hell. I don't know how old Jason. He is, but definitely I want to be looked upon as somebody like that from now on. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you think you overdressed or whatever. Like, I remember seeing a picture of him. He was an advertisement, but he was like in the grocery store. But he was wearing like a short collar cardigan. And I remember I was at work, and me and my coworkers were saying like, yo, wait, are you ever not dressed up? Because at work we have to dress up, but we didn't have to wear a tie. But every now and then I would also wear a tie. They're like, are you always dressed up? They're like, are you ever not dressed up? Like, do you go to the grocery store? I'm like, yeah. They're like, are you dressed up there? I'm like, well, sometimes it depends. I could be like in a short collar cardigan. They're like, what? You go to the grocery store in a short collar cardigan? So I put out the picture of Jason to show them,
Right. So, that's casual for real.
Exactly, man. Exactly. So, I still wear the hoodies too. You know what I mean? I still wear, jeans and stuff like that. You know what I mean? But, sometimes I feel like stepping it up a little bit more, like chinos and, still be casual, but still be, like my man, style jumper, like to call it. What does it call it again? Then I'm drawing a blank. But it'll come back to me, but he has a name for it. When you dressed up casually, but a little bit more elevated than just t-shirts and, those type of things. You know what I mean?
It's not his saying,
adult street.
Not for freshmen, for linemen.
Oh yeah, that's Style Architect. That's a classic saying too. But style jumpers thing is adult street. That's what he calls that look, and it makes a lot of sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's kind of his style too, because he'll wear like a jacket or even a sweater, and he'll throw some joggers on with it with a overcoat or something.
Yep. Now he mixes up well. For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, what would you say is your biggest issue? Like, what's stopping you right now from having that kind of wardrobe?
We'll be right back.
Yo, real quick, I got something very special to share. Are you ready to elevate your style game? Well, I got just the thing for you when it won't cost you a dime. Introducing my latest ebook, The 7 Style Mistakes That You're Making Right Now. It's packed with insights to help you up your style game. In this exclusive guide, I break down the common pitfalls that many of us fall into. From fashion faux pas to overlooked details, I got you covered. You'll learn how to turn heads for all the right reasons and boost your confidence in any situation. So are you ready to transform your wardrobe and leave those style mistakes behind? Head over to I'mNotAGentleman.com or click the link in the show notes to grab your copy of the 7 Style Mistakes That You're Making Right Now. It's a game changer and it's 100% free. Thanks for tuning in today. And remember, style is a reflection of who you are. Let's make sure you're sending the right message. Grab your copy now and let's embark on this style journey together. Until next time, stay stylish.
I think what I need to strengthen now is just like more classic menswear. So my suits per se, but I don't necessarily need a whole lot of suits. I think just like 3, maybe 4. Like you always suggest a charcoal as just a fundamental, a charcoal navy just to have fundamentally. So I think like a charcoal navy and maybe like a medium gray or light gray.
Got you.
And then dress shirts, ties, pocket squares, and dress shoes. Just a more dress look. Because I have a plethora of chinos, a few loafers, some OCBD shirts that I'll just wear casually, or even a t-shirt, and dress those up like on a casual tip. But I want to kind of lean in more to get my classic essentials right. Just to have the classic fundamentals, the classic essentials. So when the occasion calls for it, I'm ready to take it to the next level.
Absolutely. That's where a lot of guys go wrong, because they wait till the last second. And when that happens, you end up buying something that you're not 100% sure about, because you don't really have the time. And it happened to the best of us. I mean, it hasn't happened to me in a while. I make sure it doesn't, by having a very curated wardrobe where I can always grab something for whatever the occasion calls for. But in the past, I've definitely worn something crazy because I waited till last second. I'm a last second kind of guy naturally, but that shouldn't be the case with your wardrobe. You know what I mean?
For sure. No, I'm the same way. I'm the same way too. I try to prep and get everything in order beforehand, but busy schedule and everything. Some things come down the last minute. But what I really appreciate about your style and your aesthetic with the classic menswear is like everything fits well with each other. It's kind of like you say, one of your sayings is, one of the best compliments you got is people telling you dress so nice and it's so fluid. It's like an orchestra playing. You don't know which instrument is doing what. It just all fits together well.
Facts.
That's one thing that I think that's what stands the test of time. The stuff that it doesn't matter what combinations, all this stuff goes and works together in unison and in harmony. And that's what I'm going for sure.
Absolutely. It's like with me, it took a while to get there, but I'm very proud of what I've accomplished so far, because it's not about one thing fighting the other, right? People are going to have their favorites when they see you. Somebody might be into accessories, or somebody might be like a watch person. Somebody might be a shoe person, and they'll notice those things, but that's because that's what they like. It's not because the thing is screaming at them like, hey, look at me. You see what I'm saying? Right. And that's the same kind of thing I try to provide to my clients, to the membership members, to my students, is to have everything flow and nothing is fighting against one another. And that's one thing that's very hard for a lot of guys to grasp. It's hard for them to grasp because they feel like they have to have something that's screaming. Versus no, when you have everything when everything is put together nicely, as a whole, you're going to shine, as opposed to one piece just really grabbing all the attention.
Exactly. That's the difference, right, between being fashion forward and just having time to style.
Absolutely.
Sure.
And some guys take it the wrong way too. Like, for example, if I go to a wedding, I want to be as incognito as possible, right? The last thing I want to do is to stand out at someone else's wedding, you know. But some guys take it in a sense like, I don't want to dress well. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't want to stand out, but I end up standing out anyway, even when I'm not trying, because little things like my suit fitting well, my shoes being polished, wearing a really nice tie. Most guys are not really going to do that. They're just trying to shine. You know what I mean? And where I get it, because a lot of guys, they don't get a chance to really wear tailored clothing. So when a wedding is coming up, they're like, oh, this is my chance to really kill it. And that shouldn't be the attitude, right? So, yeah.
And that's when they go out. And I'm guilty of this too, is an event coming up, a wedding or some sort of event. And then you go out and you got to buy the outfit for it. And usually you end up going, like you said, a little too flamboyant, a little over the top, because you're rushing last minute, as opposed to having these fundamentals and essentials in place, so you can piece it together, easy when the time comes.
Absolutely. Now that's great, man. Now, I know we spoke about the weather in Colorado, but one thing that I'm not 100% sure about, do you guys get all 4 seasons?
Yeah, we get all 4 seasons for sure. And it depends. Some years we may have a light winter. Some years we may have a heavy winter. But it definitely gets hot around July, August. Yeah, like a dry heat too. And lately, the past few years, like it always rains every 4th of July. Like every 4th of July for like the past 10 years, it rains. And it usually rains a lot in July, and then it'll be hot in like August. It'll be hot all the way up to like October, November sometimes. Like 75-degree weather in November.
Yeah.
And then we'll get like a late winter from like January all the way up until March. It's been some years where it's snowed, and it was a light snow, but it snowed all the way up until May.
Wow.
So yeah, it's crazy. You can get all 4 seasons in a week. All 4 seasons in 1 month.
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, we talk about that in New York too, how we have more than 4 seasons because it could be so crazy. The swings are so wild, right?
Yeah,
and it
y'all
can
get
all happen
hurricanes
within
and
a
all
couple
that
of
up
days. Yep, exactly. So when you think about your tailored clothing needs, are you looking for something that's going to be for a specific season, and then for the following season you just switch up, or are you looking for something that's going to be that you'll be able to wear throughout the year?
Yeah, if I can, something to wear throughout the year. I know there are certain pieces and that only call for a certain type of material, like a hop sack or a linen when it's 90, 100 degrees outside.
Sure.
But with respect to tailored clothing, something that's that's year round, year long.
Got you. Yeah. I think that's a good idea, especially when you're not looking to get too many suits. Because like you said, you're looking to get maybe 3 or 4, So I would probably do 3 that are all seasons, and then probably just do 1 that's more like cold weather appropriate, you know what I mean? Just to have something that's different. Because you do feel better when you're wearing something that goes with the season that you're in. Like right now I'm wearing tweed. And
that's a nice tweed jacket, by the way.
Thank you, bro. It's a whole suit, man. And
nice
I really love it. Yeah, man. It's one piece that I was looking forward to receiving. So I just got it last week. It's a custom piece, but it definitely makes me feel better wearing that around this time of the year versus if I was wearing something that's 4 season, you know what I'm saying? Because it just goes so well with the weather, you know what I mean? So that's what I would recommend. And that could be the last piece you get, but I think it's important to get something you can wear all year round, especially living in the climate that you live in where it's unpredictable at times. So you don't want to get caught with your pants down like they say,
No doubt. And that's the goal, like over time to build to that stage. But securing like the fundamentals and the foundation and the essentials now. Like, like in basketball, the Spurs, they're not the most commercial team. They're not on the highlight reel, but they, at least when Greg Popovich was in his like prime, they was in the championship picture every year because they stuck to the essentials and the fundamentals. And you can never go wrong there.
Yep, absolutely. That's a great analogy actually, because they even call Tim Duncan Mr. Fundamental, right? So it's all about the fundamentals. Very important to get those things set, and then you can venture out.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Now, so like you said, you have heard me speak about the colors that I usually recommend. Charcoal, I recommend charcoal more than navy, although that's just a personal choice. There's no wrong answer there. The reason why I recommend charcoal more is because most guys lean towards navy. So I want to give you something a little bit different, you know what I'm saying? And charcoal, I feel like is extremely underrated. It's such a great color that's very versatile. So that's why I lean towards that more than navy, but that's really no wrong answer. And especially if you're going to do more than one, then you can do charcoal first and navy second, or navy first, charcoal second. Because both of those colors play the same exact role. You can dress them up to the most formal of events, except for anything that's like black tie or white tie. But they can fit to any function. You know what I mean?
Yep. I had to. Those are going to be my first 2 suits. Definitely a more so a charcoal one, because I have this navy suit, but this one doesn't even really fit me. You can see these lapels are mad thin. This is a skinny, slim fit H&M suit I bought years ago for like $180 or something crazy. But the charcoal and the navy, that's definitely I'm saving for that right now. So next couple of checks, I'm gonna go towards that. And there's programs like Klarna and Sezzle where you don't have to pay for everything at once. You can piece it together over time. So that's what I plan to do. Charcoal navy, definitely my first 2 suits, next suits.
Gotcha. Now I know that Denver is a town where there are some menswear brands out there in Denver. Is there a suit supply out there?
There might be. I don't know if there's a KG Men. Okay. There's a DSW. Of course, we got Nordstrom's.
Yep.
the malls, there may be a suit supply. I don't know. There's several malls out here.
I'll look that up after we get off the call. I'm not 100% sure. Last week I spoke to one of my guys from Detroit, and they didn't have any out there. So they're not everywhere. They are in a lot of towns, like big cities. But I have to double check on Denver to see if there's one, because that's definitely a place I would recommend, because they have so many different options as far as price points and styles. If someone can afford it, I always recommend their custom program, because I feel like that's the best program that they offer, because you can play with some of the options. But they have suits starting around like $400, I would say, is the starting point. They used to have some under $400, but I haven't looked in a while to see if they still have those. But it's definitely a good place. Yep, it's a good price, man. It's definitely a good place to start, I would say, for a nice charcoal suit. Now, you see the way that I dress with the Neapolitan style and stuff, and I'm not saying it's the best style, but that's just the style that I like. That's the style that works for me. Do you have any preference there with the kind of styles that you would like? Because I know you mentioned the suit that you're wearing now has the skinnier lapel, so obviously you're looking to have something more timeless. But what else do you look in a suit that really stands out to you?
You know, I love the Neapolitan cut, and I like double breast a lot. I sent you a few pictures in the past too, and was having conversations talking about double breast. But the Neapolitan cut, the soft shoulders, and the way the couture of it, how it's shaped, and it's very flattering and compliments. You know, if you have a broad chest, the shoulders,
exactly.
So that's the Neapolitan cut is definitely what I'm leaning more towards. And something like I said with a softer shoulder, because these aren't extreme right now, but the padding in it, and it's just something to feel comfortable in, something I can move in, something that is going to look good while at the same time not going to like constrict me. Because, you know, when I bought this suit, this is when I was in, you know, my like slim skinny bag when that was in. And as you grow, you're like, this is uncomfortable. I can't even really move. I'm 100%. Sweating in this. Like, this ain't it. So I'm so glad I came across your page. I forget even how I came across. Maybe I was searching something, but I'm glad I did. And then it's just been a world of knowledge and information since then. And I'm just learning more and more every day how to do it the right way.
I appreciate that. And it's funny, I've been doing it for a while, but even myself, I'm still looking to refine my aesthetic. You know, like I definitely have the base down pat, but you never really stop learning and try to implement different things. You know what I mean? So with me, like, for example, I'm having my trousers being wider now. Not that they were ever skinny. Well, of course they were skinny at one point, but since I, discovered Classic Menswear and started dressing well, in my estimation, I'd say since like 2015, my trousers haven't been skinny, but I'm looking to have them even wider now. Not like extremely wide, because I don't like the extremes on either end. I don't like things too skinny. I don't like things too baggy. But I definitely want them to be wider than the way that I have them now. So like the trousers that I'm wearing now are baggier than what I usually wear. But I'm still looking to refine that to get it to the point where it's absolutely perfect for me.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, you mentioned that in the last, or one of the more recent groups that we had, where you was going from 8-inch leg opening, or some say 16-inch, depending on how, to 9-inch or 18-inch.
Yep, exactly. So
because it's just more comfortable, or it drapes better, or
it drapes better. So it's like, if you want the trousers to be wider, it's not going to look right if the thighs are wider but the bottom is smaller, right? You kind of want it to be like a straight line. So therefore, if you want the trousers to be wider, you also want the hem to be wider, so that way just a straight line all the way down from the waist to the shoes. So 8 inches is what I used to go for. The one that I'm wearing now is 8.75, but I think it's still not quite there from where I really want it. So I think maybe 9.25 is probably where I'm going to end up settling at. You know what I mean? So it's still a work in progress. But the good thing is I can let those out. So there's room in there for me to take them to my tailor to have them let out. So I just want to wear them a couple times. I mean, wear it a couple times to see how I feel about the whole suit or whatever. And then eventually I'll take it to my tailor to make some minor adjustments.
For sure. And that's one thing I appreciate too, because I reached out to you a little while ago with respect to ordering a suit online, on an off the rack suit, and then getting it hemmed.
Yep.
And then leaving the inseam unadjusted, so you take it to your tailor and get the perfect adjustment, because if you go too short, it's hard to fix that. So you rather have more material as opposed to less material. And that's something I had learned from you, and I needed that information, because if I hadn't known that, would have wasted,
It makes sense, man, because if you're thinking, okay, if the store can do it, that's going to save me a trip to the tailor, right? So I'll just pay a little bit extra that the store is going to charge me, and then I just know I'm set. But there's so much room for error there, So if you put the wrong inseam because you're not 100% sure, and now you can't fix it, not only you can't fix it, you can't return it, because it's like a custom piece, So it's better to just get the hem undone. And then take it to your tailor. That way they can measure you properly and get the right length for you. You know what I mean? So that's why I recommended that.
For sure.
Now, how do you feel about cuffs and pleats and those type of things on your trousers?
I'm a fan of the cuffs now that I've been exposed to it and seen the function of it and how it looks and how it makes your shoes look when it's nicely draped over there. I'm definitely a fan of that. And I've been more of a fan of pleats than as opposed to belt loops. Most of my trousers are just regular belt loop trousers, but the pleated trousers with the side tabs just look so much better without
so sexy.
Without that belt there. It just looks like it fits. It's perfect.
Yeah, because the belt can definitely cut you down. Not cut you down, but cut you in half.
Yeah.
Because it's like a separation from the top to the bottom. If somebody's looking at you from top to bottom and you have your jacket open, right? Because the belt is going to stop their sight from just going from top to bottom or from bottom to top continuously, because they have to stop and pause at the belt. So when you're not wearing a belt because you have side adjusters or whatever and you're wearing suspenders, it doesn't stop that flow, which is always a good thing, And
for sure.
with me, one thing that never really worked with me is like the side adjusters. I have them on all my trousers, but they're not functional to me. And I don't know if it's because of the way my body's shaped. I don't have the flattest stomach in the world. So maybe that's why. Yes. So, that's why we're suspenders. Yeah, exactly. So the suspenders, you never move them. You just set them up in the morning. And then, when it's time to take your clothes off, then you take them off. You never have to worry about fidgeting with them throughout the day. But the side adjusters are just there for looks for me. They've never done anything. I remember the first time I got them, that was prior to me starting to wear suspenders. And all day that day, I kept on pulling my pants up because the side adjusters couldn't keep them up. And that's when I was like, no, I got to do something else. I don't want to go back to belts, but I got to start wearing suspenders. And that's how we started. So,
yeah. And the suspenders is a good look too. Even though you're not showing off your suspenders, but if your jacket's open and you see it, it's, it's a nice little flare.
Exactly. And you never know when the jacket is going to come off, fam. So I don't go out with the intention of taking off my jacket, but you never know. You might be in a room. It's hot as hell. I remember I was at work one time, and I had to help move some boxes. So it was a lot more comfortable for me to take my jacket off, And one of my coworkers was like, wait, you wear suspenders? Like, he was so shocked because he never seen them, And I was like, well, yeah, it's just to hold my pants up. It's not really an accessory, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But
I'm making that point to say you never know when your jacket is going to come off. And I think it is a good look also. You don't want to be like Larry King and have that be your signature. But, when your jacket comes off, people see it. And that also plays with one of the videos I made recently about not having your monogram on your shirt cuffs. So me, I have my monogram on my torso on the left side. And also it's another thing too. You never know when your jacket is going to come off and somebody might see it as opposed to them being right in their face, like right on the cuff. When they see it and it's like hidden a little bit, I think it just makes a lot more sense. You know what I mean?
For surely. And it's just a better look, classic look with the suspenders as opposed to the belt. Because I remember years ago, when I thought I was, doing it right, I had the leather on my shoes matching my belt, matching my watch strap, and it was like, oh yeah, this belt is fly. But it's a better, cleaner look, when more sophisticated look and just a more classic look to have, a high rise trouser with your suspenders, for sure.
Yep. So what I would recommend for you is definitely Suit Supply. Now, even if they don't have one in your city, they have a huge online
Yep.
What's the word that I'm looking for here? Selection. And also they're very quick. Like you can order something today and get it in a couple days. You know, so you can one way to go about it, which I've advised some clients, is to get a couple different sizes if you're not sure what your size is, and then just return the one that you don't want to keep. You know what I'm saying? So that's an option as well. But that's what I would recommend, because they definitely have some charcoal in their collection that you can check out. You know what I mean? And you know, like one thing about them and the reason why I recommend them a lot of times is you're not going to find like the real skinny lapels and like the short jackets, you know? So, because of that, I recommend them. Now, their trousers may not come with, I mean, some of their lines do, may not come with, side adjusters and pleats. And that's why usually I recommend their custom program, but their custom program, of course, is going to be more expensive. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
That's something to look into. But a store like that would be something that I recommend. And, Spear & McKay also is another store that gives you that Neapolitan look. They're all going to have the side adjuster. They're all going to have the pleats. They're all going to have the high rise on their Neapolitan style suits. The only thing is they're only in Canada. So if you wanted to go in person, you'd have to take a trip to Toronto. Versus Suit Supply, there are many stores in the US, even though they're not going to give you that true Neapolitan unless you go custom. Cause they used to have some of their lines that had that. But, recently when I checked, I didn't see one. So that's what I would say.
Okay, for sure. That's a bet. And for my first real suit, I guess, in a Neapolitan cut, it doesn't have to be perfect. I'll perfect it over time. Yeah. So, yeah, I'll definitely look into the custom program, though, for sure, to get as close as the best fit I can. And then anything extra, take it to my tailor for sure.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it because it's not like you're really dressing up for an event that's right around the corner. You just want to start dressing well, period. But it's not really pressing. So even if, you know, like I said, the custom program is going to cost more. And they even do the custom program online as well. So you can even like put your measurements in or whatever online and they can do it that way. Both Spear & McKay and Suit Supply offer that. So, you can definitely do everything online if they don't have one in your city or close. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I definitely look into that Suit Supply. I've been checking out Spear & McKay for a while, but I'm gonna see if they actually have a physical store here at Suit Supply so I can go in and try some things out, see what they have and get a better feel for it.
Yeah, I recommend both brands, man. It's just that with suits, it's not always easy to do it online. If you don't have a good base yet, you know, because certain guys, they're easy to shop on. It's easy for them to shop online because they have more of a regular body shape versus someone like me. Shopping online is harder for me. You see what I'm saying? So, but I was lucky to have something fit me off the rack, and then that way I knew what adjustments to make for the ones that came after that.
Okay. Yep. That sounds good.
Yeah, man. Is there any other question I can help answer for you while you got me?
I would say shoes. I know we did a shoe fitting or
in the mastermind.
What's the best shoe? Yeah, in the Menswear Mastermind group, we had a paper bag test to see what shoe would fit the best and what size. But I know different brands, the sizes may run different, and depending on the last and the width and all that. I believe I'm at like an 8 EU, which I think is a 9 UK or something like that.
Yeah, the
or maybe
European
a 7 UK.
sizes are so weird. Like
it may be like a 41 EU and like a 9 UK and that 8 US.
Yeah, a 41 EU is like it's like a 9 US almost. Because I'm a 40 and a half. Yep, I'm a 40 and a half EU, which is, depending on the brand, it's like a 7 UK, and I'm a 8 US. So it's weird, man, you know, because the EU sizing, they're not as, at least to me, when I was looking at the online to see what's the best one to go with based on my US and UK sizing. It was kind of hard to figure out which one it was. But for the brand that I was trying, 40.5 was the one that works for me. That was equivalent to a 7 UK or 8 US.
Okay, bet. And I was looking at TLB Mallorca because, of course, the shoes are the foundation, fundamental. So
yes, sir.
Definitely, along with the 3-4 suits, I have a few pair of shoes too. I have a couple black cap toe Oxfords, and I even have a couple brown cap toe Oxfords, and I got a loafer. But I was looking to get something like a burgundy, or maybe even a hash green, or just different shades of brown.
Absolutely. TLB makes a great burgundy. Like, that burgundy is really beautiful. I don't have a burgundy pair from them, but when we did the New York Trunk Show, when I attended the New York Trunk Show, I should say, back in October, I was able to see that burgundy in person. It's really striking, really stunning color. Nice. So I would definitely recommend that. Burgundy, contrary to popular belief, is a very versatile color. I know a lot of guys shy away from it because it's going to be a little bit more flashy than your darker colors, you know what I mean? But burgundy is very versatile.
For sure. No,
and TLB has so many styles to choose from too,
Yeah. I'm looking at the Artista line that you recommended, so
absolutely.
I'm gonna order something from them and definitely put it all together.
Absolutely. So I will have a link for TLB. I don't have a discount because TLB don't do discounts. They only do discounts, I believe, around Black Friday. But their shoes are so great, especially for us that live in the US, because if you compare their shoes to Carmina, which to me they are in the same ballpark, although I think TLB is better for a few reasons, although Carmina is nice as well. But Carmina's cost $525,
Yep.
Versus TLB is around $408 last time I checked, based on the conversion or whatever. But if you live in Europe, TLB actually costs more than Carmina does. So we get a really great deal living in the US from TLB. So even though they don't really do discounts, I think they're priced accordingly. So I think that $408 or whatever it is right now with the conversion is still a really great price. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, $400 well spent.
Yep, absolutely. So the burgundy would be a good look because that'll go really great too with the charcoal. Whenever I'm wearing charcoal, I usually pull out a burgundy pair of shoes, man. So I'd recommend that as one of the first ones that you get.
Okay, for sure. It's definitely on the list.
Yes, sir. Now, was this helpful to you? What was the biggest point that you think that I was able to help you solve?
Yeah, this is extremely helpful. The suit supply recommendation and seeing if they had a physical store, because I didn't know I thought they just had I thought they was just online.
Gotcha.
So I didn't know they had like stand up stores.
Yeah, absolutely.
But everything,
absolutely.
I can't pinpoint one thing, man, from
that's what's up.
All your videos, beyond just this interaction here, just the plethora of knowledge and information. No doubt. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I do appreciate, the Neapolitan plug. That was new for me. I thought all suits were cut the same, not made from the same fabric, but basically all the same. I didn't know the different specifications, the shoulders, the lapels, the length of the jacket. I didn't know all this, so I'm appreciating everything.
No, that's what's up, man. And that's the beauty of it too, is the journey. It's never the destination, right? Because it's like when you're watching a movie, you're not sitting there like waiting for the end. You're enjoying the movie. You see what I'm saying? It's the same thing with dressing up. It's the journey. It's not the destination, because the destination never really gets there. You're just going to keep learning and refining forever. You know what I mean? It's just about the journey and enjoying that part. So like right now, the stage that you are and discovering these new things, to be honest with you, I'm a little bit jealous, you know what I mean? Because I remember those days and it was like, wow, like when the light went on, it was like such a great moment, you know what I mean? And a lot of guys never get to experience that, unfortunately. They're like stuck in one way and, never really discover classic menswear. But when you start to discover classic menswear, it opens up so many things for you, So I'm definitely happy for you that you are in that stage, and we're just going to keep getting better and better. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I definitely appreciate that, and it's a revelation too. And it's like with every new thing I learn, I'm like, dang, I didn't know that before. So it's like, I appreciate that. I could have been ignorant to this forever. I'm glad I know now.
No doubt, no doubt. Exactly. Because, if you don't know something, you just don't know it, right? Like, you don't know what you don't know. So a lot of guys, when they see my videos, they're like, I don't know about what this guy's talking about because they're not used to it, But when they take a step back and start to do a little bit of research, what I'm talking about is not anything new. It's just that you don't know it because you've never discovered it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So Classic Menswear is a huge community. Of course, it's not as big as your GQ style, fashion type of menswear. That's everywhere. For Classic Menswear, if you're not used to it, you might have to dig a little bit deeper, Actually, I have an episode on the podcast. I don't remember which episode it was where I was talking about some of the guys that I recommend that people follow on Instagram. So that's a good episode for people to go back and listen to if you're trying to get into Classic Menswear, where it's not just you taking it from me. There are other guys that are doing the same thing as well. Like I've seen guys say, "Wow, you wear cuffs? Cuffs are so dated." And I'm like, "What are you talking about, bro?" Like, I wear 2-inch cuffs, and everybody that I know in Classic Menswear, whose style I really respect, like 2-inch cuffs is a given. It's not even something that we even think about. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's a great stage, man.
For sure. And once, like you said, once you get turned on to it and what you know, like I view menswear totally different now. When I'm scrolling on Instagram, I'm looking at the dreaded triangle, like, oh, I didn't even know that was a thing until I got taught that. You know what I mean? And the cuffs and the width of your lapels and how these suits are supposed to fit versus, the fashion forward, super slim look. So I'm just grateful that I'm in the know now.
No doubt. But it's the gift and the curse, because it's a gift, obviously, because now you're going to better yourself in the way that you dressed in a more classic way. That way you're not chasing trends. But it's the curse because you can't just take things at face value anymore. You can't just watch TV or movie just to watch it and enjoy it. Now you're looking at what people are wearing and things are starting to jump out at you. It's like, oh man, I wish I could have just enjoyed this movie for what it is, as opposed to looking at the dreaded triangle that this guy got on, you know what I mean? So, absolutely.
Right. And it's like subconscious. You don't even really want to think about it, but you see it and it's like,
absolutely. You
can't unsee it, you can't unknow what you know.
Yep, exactly. You can't unring a bell.
Right.
Yeah, one of my guys told me earlier today, actually, it's like when he discovered Classic Menswear, he was like James Bond. It's like, like the old James Bond where he was like Classic Menswear, where he was wearing like higher rise trousers, he had pleats, versus the Daniel Craig James Bond where it's more like more fitted and everything. It's like now we like realize like, wow, there's a big difference. Where before he just like watching James Bond movies, he didn't really realize there was a difference, but now he can't stop seeing that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yep. He got his Classic Menswear goggles on.
Exactly. Well, Jahlon, it was a pleasure, man. And, once again, we're not,
pleasure. Thank you.
We're not new to each other. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely lit in the Menswear Mastermind, but having you one-on-one, because in the Menswear Mastermind is a group, having you one-on-one, I know we go back and forth on Instagram in the DMs or whatever, but having you one-on-one here to talk about menswear was a pleasure. And like I said, I'm envious of the spot that you're at, because I can never go back to that spot. And sometimes I be forgetting some of the things that I know, because I take it for granted, right? So it's like, of course I know that already, but like going back and talking to guys who are just starting out really makes me new. Like it's like I'm reliving it again, you know what I mean? So I really appreciate that.
No, I appreciate you too. And I appreciate that you give us the backstory and you show those pictures and then you tell us like, I was doing it the wrong way. And I'm not ashamed to tell you. I learned from it and I got better, and you can too. So that's a blessing, man.
Yeah, because guys are under the impression people are born dressing well. I mean, you might be born with style, but you still have to put it together. So I don't want guys to feel like, well, I don't know how to dress, so I'm never going to be able to be well dressed. And I'm showing you, I was literally one of the worst dressed guys out there. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not afraid to show it at all. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yes, that's relatable, man. I appreciate it. So you keep that energy up, man. And
you already know.
The possibilities are endless, and your reach is going to continue to expand and to evolve. And I just appreciate your authenticity, man. So
that's what's up, bro.
It's 100, man. It's all the way 100, man. It's to be appreciated. And I know the critics and the detractors and the trolls online, they're gonna say what they say. It's part of the algorithm.
Yeah, they have a job
just keep
to do.
going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. It shows the growth too. Because if everybody agrees with what I'm saying, that means that it's just my followers that are seeing my content.
Yep.
But when people start pushing back, I know those aren't just my followers. Those are people that are just discovering what I'm doing. And it's like, what is this guy talking about? I don't know anything about this. So I don't trust it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So even that is a gift and a curse.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like with the newcomers, there's going to come new opinions, which is cool.
Yep. Which is cool. Exactly.
So long as you're standing on your square and you're doing it the right way.
Yeah, because I know some guys are benefiting from it. You know what I mean? So that's all that matters.
Absolutely. I'm definitely benefiting from it, man. And I appreciate it. And thanks for having me on this Wardrobe Audit, man. It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure, brother.
That's what's up, man. Well, thanks for tuning in for another episode of the Wardrobe Audit. That was my man Jahlon from Denver. And tune back again next week for another episode of I'm Not a Gentleman. Peace.
Peace.
Back in that bag again. Whoa, yeah. Hey. Back in that, yeah. Tell them to watch it.